I was wondering, baby, would it make us go crazy? Baby, would I make you my baby? I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. 'Cause you already know when it's coming, sit down on that heel at your back. Good afternoon, currency kings and queens. Welcome back. I'm just going over the market for this week. After tomorrow, y'all, we are in a whole nother month. So it'll be the month of October, but we have today, which is Sunday, the market opens, and then tomorrow, which is Monday, the 30th of September. So we are officially in the fall seasons. These are my favorite seasons, just in case you don't know. So I want to let a little personality out because I do have a personality and I'm kind of human. Not completely, just kind of. But anyway, let's do our October, late September, October, because this week's going to kind of end in the month of October, and see what the market is going to look like specifically for GJ, because that's kind of what we've been on lately. And then I want to know how y'all's trading has been. And as y'all know, like later in the year, there's quarters. There's 4 quarters in a year. Every 3 months, there's a quarter. So you'll have your January, February, March. That's the first quarter of the year. And then April, May, and June is the second quarter. July, August, September is the third quarter. October, November, and December is the fourth quarter. So usually in the fourth quarter of the year, trading slows down because the markets kind of change, and it's a noticeable change. It's not anything that's like subtle. So a lot of people get most of their trading out in the first 3 quarters of the year, and then there are some that actually trade straight through into the new year, with the exception of the latter months or weeks of December, to where there's no trading volume, little to none at all, just due to the market makers being out and not much trading going on in huge numbers. So just be mindful, and when these seasons pop up for you as new traders, pay attention to them, take notes, what's different than how it usually is, and that'll tell you how to move in the market for yourself as well. If you know there's not a whole lot of trading volume, the market's trading sideways, and you just want to get in for a trade just to say you traded today, it's probably not the best thing to do to become consistent and successful at trading. So let's kind of go with, the rules and your strategy and how the market moves and what it gives us. Remember, we always take what it gives, and we don't want to kind of force anything when we're trading. I can say for a lot of us, we've all been there. If not the majority, a majority have actually had that type of struggle. So I'm curious, because I know what my struggles were when I was new. What are your struggles? What are the things that you struggle with in your trading, whether you're trading Forex, futures, commodities, indices, stocks, options? What is a huge struggle? What has been a huge struggle that you tend to continue to struggle in? Drop a comment down below. Remember, if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn that notification bell on so that you can get uploads and updates when I do upload videos. I want to thank those that are return viewers and those that are new here. I really appreciate you. Let's get right into the news. So the first thing that I want to bring up is news is subjective, but a lot of times if it's concerning your pair, you want to take note of the news that's actually going to affect how your pair moves, or whatever you're trading, how it moves. I usually typically focus on the US dollar and UJ. So going into today, we have some red folder at 8:30 tonight, which I won't be a part of. It's the PMI. I don't trade at that time, so this is just for those that actually are scouring the charts, looking for setups. I do tend to look for my setups on Sundays when the market opens. I like to allow it to level out and continue to look until I find something on Monday. If I don't find a trade by 10 a.m. ish, 9:30, 10, I don't take a trade for that day. I didn't trade this past Friday. I had a pretty decent week last week. And actually the last 3 to 4 weeks have been pretty impressive. Just coming from my standpoint. So let's get right into the news for Monday. On Monday on all day, we'll have the euro dollar being affected due to the German prelim CPI. So if you trade the euro USD or anything like that, you'll see some possible news movement because the folder's red, so it's significant news. We'll also have some red folder at 12:55. Chair Powell speaks again. Last week he spoke, I think on Thursday, and it moved the market pretty good. We have some orange folder tentative on New Zealand, and this is for Monday. So we have some potential volume that could come into the market and give us kind of the trades that we may be looking for, even though it does not directly affect GBP. I typically see a little bit of that movement on other pairs in currencies. So Tuesday we will have red folder at 4 in the morning and 9 in the morning as well. Just remember this week will be what? NFP on Friday. So just be aware that the market may be kind of silly. On Wednesday, we have red folder at 7:15 a.m. Thursday, we have red folder on the CHF and at 1:30 a.m. And US dollar, we have some significant news, unemployment claims and ISM services. One is at 7:30 and the other is at 9. So if you're trading on Thursday, just be careful. And then of course on Friday we have NFP, and that's all red from the time that pre-market to opening. I'd probably just try and set up your trades and just let the market do what it's going to do, unless you trade news, because some of us actually do. Getting right into the charts. That's quite a bit of news for this week. And being that it's NFP, just be safe. Make sure you do proper risk management. I will always make that statement as much as possible, because sometimes we need to be reminded. That is our capital. That is what we're trading with. That is what we depend on in order to have the leverage to get what we're trying to get. So I think we all have the same goal in mind. We just have different plans and they look different. So I want to go into the GBP JPY chart starting on the daily. Let's start, since we're on the daily, because I have the 50 EMA up. Y'all want to turn that 200 on and see, since we're further out. So the 200 is going through. And what did I say about the moving averages that I use? If it's going through a trend, let me take that off. So the 200 is going through a trend, that means it's ranging. So a lot of times if you drop down, you'll see some ranging. So we'll go down to a 4-hour time frame. Do you have a bias? Does anyone have a bias, and have you taken any trades? So last week I took a lot of buys on GJ and until I couldn't. So I did notice, since I didn't trade on Friday after market close, sometimes I'll go and look at the market. And I saw this huge, let me see if I can show y'all. I saw this huge drop in the market. This is after I did all my trades. I got out and I traded all the way up into the top to this high. I didn't get, perfect TP, but I traded all the way up until this range here. And I closed out all of my trades. But, being that the trend had this huge drop, what I'm going to look for to confirm whether or not it's going to break the trend, let me show you on the 4-hour time frame. So we have on the daily an uptrend. When it broke below, even on the daily time frame, and I'm potentially looking for, because sometimes it just doesn't give what I'm looking for, and I'll put a trend line on the daily, because being that the trend line is here, it could give a range to where it could continue up just to take this off. That actually could mean something right there since that topped off. But it is not in a downtrend as of yet, but sometimes I'll put the supply zone on there just to make myself aware of these zones. But I think, this is just me, I am going to go with the trend until it proves, and it has to prove to me by the break of structure, by breaking a moving average, by the Fibonacci confirming, and by, time zones. I'm looking at time zones. So we're not going to use just one indicator or one sure thing based off of market structure or one another. What I like to do is have at least 3 confluences, meaning 3 things have to line up in order for me to say, okay, this trend is going down. Sometimes when I'm being more aggressive than other times, if it's breaking an area, I'll go ahead and get in aggressively, but I'll be really, really careful with my stop losses. So I'm waiting on GJ to see if the trend is breaking. Being that this huge volume bar came down and it broke this moving average to the downside, I want to see if it's going to come up to any major areas of structure and either break through or respect those areas. The candlestick that is on the hourly chart has not closed where it is, but the previous candle did break a level of structure. So we have several major areas that it could respect, but I'm looking at a reversal. That's kind of what I'm trying to go with, but I just need a little bit of confirmation on that. So right now with GJ, I'm gonna wait. And I think that's how we started last week. Remember, it hadn't completely set up the way that we wanted to see it, but once it was confirmed, we got in, and I got in for a whole week of buys last week. Last week on GJ was buys. You could do a few sells on the retracements, but mainly most of my profit came from buys on last week. So that's kind of where I'm going with GJ. I don't have a whole lot that I can give you. I just know that those areas where the trend was going up and continuing, it broke down, and with this big bar here. So we need to see what this bar is going to do. And since this area on the daily time frame is lower than what it's kind of trying to be structured with, but even this previous bar here, it closed above the zone. So let's just wait and see how this bar closes. If it closes with this huge wick the way it's set up right now on the daily time frame, I'm going to start looking at the reversals. It's already got some strong bearish sentiment, but I'm gonna wait it out. So make sure y'all are subscribed to my social medias. My Instagram is Currency Queen, my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to get a TikTok set up, and I'll let y'all know what that handle is on my TikTok. I think I have the handle that's on my intro. I'm revamping it. So just bear with me, y'all. I'm trying to get myself lined out so where it's seamless and y'all can follow me easily without having to do research. But right now, that's what I got. And I do also have a little bit of time to look at some of the UJ pairs. Kind of looks the same, y'all. They're very similar. On GU, let's look at GU. So what I have on GU for the daily time frame, let's see. It looks like we've come up to a Maribozo. So we went up on a daily time frame, and it looks like it's having trouble breaking through this resistance here. So even on GU, we might see it reverse on GU. So with news being quite heavy this week, you may have the volume to push through a reversal. But right now, GU is on buys. We have a double top on the 4 hour for GU. Could indicate a reversal. Well, that's a triple top. Look here, y'all. One touch here. One touch here. And another touch here. That's a triple top. And then we're using this for support. And then we're gonna also keep an eye on this level, which is right at support. So if it's gonna break through these areas, then we'll start looking at reversals and start getting in some sells. Right now, there's a little bit of bearish, but we don't know if that's retracements or what. So on GU, that's a wait as well. See what the 30-minute looks like. Yeah, a little bit of choppy on the lower time frames, but let's just wait GU and GJ out. What I'm gonna do is flag those two. EU's kind of still setting up the same way. We're still on an uptrend.